What's up, you guys? Today I'm vlogging for the first time in what feels like forever. I am just currently sitting in my lobby of my building waiting for an Uber, so that's why I'm being a little bit quiet because it is pretty early in the morning. But I decided to vlog today because I'm actually going on an event with Clarins. They're having an event here in Alberta, which is so exciting. And we are actually going to a couple farms here in Alberta, I think around Red Deer, and we are going to be planting trees with an organization, which is such a cool event. And I'm so excited because you guys know environmental causes are very near and dear to my heart. But yeah, I'm gonna take you guys along with me.
We came in and planted 2 days ago?
Yeah, Sunday. 3,000 trees.
Wow.
They're here to go look at it, and I guess, and then plant some trees.
That's awesome.
Cool.
We've got 45 seedlings
Beautiful.
to put in the ground.
3,045 by the end of the year, right?
We had two shovels so we could share.
And last year I started a pollinator patch, a two-acre pollinator patch.
So have you seen an increase in native bees around because of the pollinator?
Yeah, what a validation I got. So I planted the pollinator plot last spring, and you know, it started to grow up. Okay, this looks pretty. I've got like 4 different kinds of clovers and a special flower, Phacelia, that is the most awesome plant for pollinators. Anyway, everything was coming along and I thought, this is exciting. I'm kind of impressed. And then this Phacelia started to bloom. Well, all of the things did. I took early morning walks and I didn't really know. I noticed a bit of buzzing around, but the bees and so on in the damp morning when I was like at 7 o'clock in the morning weren't too active. Then one morning I was late for some reason and I came a little bit later and it was just like, I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
I actually had tears in my eyes. The sound.
Yeah. So they'd attracted a lot of bees then.
Oh, buzz, buzz, buzz.
What did you do for housing? Did you put some bee houses in place?
No, this is why I'm supporting the wild bees,
okay.
the wild insects.
The bumblebees and the
yeah, I'm not doing honey.
No?
It's just it's to encourage them.
So where are they living?
They live in the forest.
They're finding stumps and things like that.
Yeah, they go into the rotten deadfall, and pollinator patch is right beside the trees, so they just go there, sleep, come out and eat, go back. Yeah, so that was a really stunning thing, and just to see all that action all summer. Really excited. It's you're kind of the first, let's say, outsiders. And I'm trying to explain what I'm doing, but I'm really glad to have you.
Yeah, well, with your permission, we'd love to get into it a little bit deeper. Yeah, I mean, it's a beautiful property out here, and it sounds like you're doing some really great work. And I love the combination of the riparian zone and an eco buffer and a food forest. You know, you're diversifying quite a bit, and the trees are serving so many different purposes. So it's really exciting. 3-year transition plan. That's great.
Yeah.
So we got to the first farm, and the organization we are here with is called PUR Projet, and I guess they were here a couple days ago and they actually planted 3,000 trees. So we are just kind of here to plant kind of the leftover seedlings, and we are just currently walking to that area now.
So these trees are particularly amazing in my opinion because we don't have to worry about supplying them with nutrients, well, nitrogen at least. It's just getting it out of the atmosphere. So go nitrogen fixing trees.
Create your home, forward, back, and some people actually do a twist. Okay. Some people do a twist. Maybe like this, they'll twist. Okay. There you go. Now you got a much bigger opening. Okay. Pull it out. Yeah. Essentially tap it down. That one's better done.
Don't forget to say hello.
And say hi to your... So it's just a little tug. If you pull the needles off the top, you're pulling too hard.
This tiny little thing right here is the tree I just planted, you guys. So we just arrived at the second farm. We are having lunch here, and we're also going to be seeing some animals and just kind of learning about their practices here. Hi. Hi. Hi.
Boys,
I think
ladies, sorry.
So this breed.
So cute. He's so happy. Oh.
Yeah, I basically grew up here with I'm the youngest of 6 kids, and in 1988, my parents transitioned from kind of industrial agriculture to organic agriculture, and since then we've been trying to replant the entire farm. So there was almost no trees here in the 1980s because they'd all been cleared. Here, this was an empty hayfield. There was nothing. There's nothing here. We got here. My dad's was born and raised in the same area. My grandfather was born in this area. My great grandfather was born and raised in this area. So we've been here for 5th generation in this area. Wow. In terms of the work that we're going to be showing you guys today with the tree planting and stuff, as I mentioned, when my parents made the transition to organic agriculture in 1988, that was spawned from a lot of observations of the kind of declining health of their animals, the declining health of the environment, and the declining health of our family. My mom got sick in 1988 when my dad was out spraying a field. She was walking out to give him his supper in the tractor. By the time she got from the edge of the road to the tractor, she had just about collapsed. She's very sensitive to chemicals, and so she started doing a lot of research into, and this is 1988, there was no information, like there wasn't internet, you couldn't look anything up. So after that one personal experience, and talking to a few of the people in the area who'd also had similar experiences, they decided to quit cold turkey, and the next year they stopped all herbicide use, fertilizer use, and part of that was just, if you're not going to use these synthetic inputs, you have to partner with natural systems to maintain fertility cycles and manage pests and look after weeds and things like that. So that spawned the whole movement towards trying to farm as an ecosystem as opposed to farming as a factory. And that's where trees come in, because they have the ability to slow wind down, provide habitat for really important bird species that help to control pests. They can stop erosion. They're beautiful, as you can see, and it just really has become an obsession. We've planted over, I think this will be like 34,000 trees that we planted this year since 1988. For the first 25,000 trees were planted for free. You could get free trees from the government, and it was amazing. And so a lot of farmers, like most of the trees you see around today, they were planted through this free program. And so we literally used to get thousands of trees every year, and we would just do little projects at a time, trying to reforest riparian areas, fence lines, wherever we could. And trees are very expensive. They're anywhere from $1 to $5 a tree. So you're planting thousands of them, it can be really expensive. And since when that program shut down, it became very difficult for us to continue the tree planting project. So work with Oz and there's other grants that have kind of popped up to help farmers to continue that tree planting work. It's just been really, really helpful in our long-term goal of reforesting the majority of the landscape. This is our kind of main design for the farm. Is we want to put back all the wetlands that were drained. Okay. We want to replant all of those wetland areas to try to heal our water cycles.
Years once these trees are grown, what will it do for cows in this field?
The biggest one is going to be slowing the wind down. When it's just, if you've been ever outside on a windy day in the wintertime, it can be minus 30 and there's no wind, and it's not bad. If it's minus 30 and there's wind, it's awful. Yeah. So same thing with our livestock. And so the only way we are going to be able to continue to live on this planet is through partnering with natural systems, because they have the ability to capture real-time solar energy without machines, without all these other energy expensive processes, and convert it into high quality nutrient dense food. In terms of being able to have livestock out here without needing heated barns and having to supply them with all these extra luxuries, these trees will provide all that for them. The cows are actually happy to be out here in the wintertime protected. In terms of the health of the animals though, in terms of the, you know, the quality of the food that they're going to eat, some of the trees that we planted in here, like the sea buckthorn and the buffaloberry, they fix atmospheric nitrogen. They take free atmospheric nitrogen and they dump it into the soil. The plant isn't healthy, it can't get the minerals into its body. And so if we're going to eat this plant ourselves, we're going to be deficient. Or if an animal eats this plant, it's going to be deficient. And if we eat that animal, we're going to be deficient. So they've done research that shows, you know, the minerals and the vitamins in our food has just decreased, you know, 10 to 20 fold in the last 100 years or so. And it's because the health of our ecosystems have been declining. There isn't enough soil bacteria that can help the plants to pull these nutrients out. There's not enough carbon anymore because it's all washing away in the erosion. Whenever we inject nitrogen into the soil, it basically sterilizes the soil. It kills the earthworms. If you look at all these different things, it all comes down to this, is that we're literally eating ourselves and our planet to death. And the only way we're going to fix it is to eat the change we want to see in the world. And that's our entire message with our farm. And so we're focusing on nutrient-dense food, educating people about the importance of ecosystem health, and trying to build a community of people around us that are, you know, committed to that work. There's probably 50 other things that I missed from just these trees are doing, but it's just not a 1 + 1 = 2. It's like 1 + 1 = 1,000. When we cut these trees down, we don't realize what we've lost. In terms of biodiversity right now, some studies say that between 100 to 2,000 species are dying every year, being exterminated every year on the planet. Most of that's as a result of agriculture. And that's organic agriculture too. It's not, just not using chemicals isn't enough. We need to start farming like an ecosystem. And in our climate, trees are a critical part of a healthy ecosystem.
So we are done with our farm visits now, and I'm actually just waiting at the airport hotel for my Uber home now. It was an incredible day though, and if you guys want to know more about PUR Projet and everything, then just keep on watching because I'm going to talk about it soon. So it's actually a few days later now, but before I wrap up this vlog, I just kind of wanted to elaborate a little bit more on what we were doing. I was also posting my day on Instagram stories, so it was a little hard to decide what to capture on the vlogs and what to capture on Instagram. I got a lot of footage while vlogging, but as you guys clearly saw, a lot of it was very windy. So I did have to cut some things out, and I added the captions, which hopefully helped, making a note to myself to invest in a windscreen the next time I'm going to be vlogging something like this. But I just wanted to give you a little bit more information on how Clarins is working with PUR Projet and how you can kind of contribute and get involved with these projects yourself. So PUR Projet is an environmental organization from France that is committed to conserving and regenerating our ecosystems. They have 40 different projects worldwide, and they've already planted over 8.5 million trees, and they have partnered with brands like Clarins because, as you heard, planting thousands of trees can be very costly. So locally what they are doing is partnering with Albertan farmers. They bring in some experts who are familiar with kind of the local landscape and forestry and what plant species are native to the area and are going to be most beneficial, and they create a plan to implement these agroforestry practices. When Clarins reached out to me and invited me on this trip, I was like, wow, this is an incredible opportunity. But how are the trees specifically helping the farmers? Obviously, we all know that planting trees is great for the environment, but I was like, what are they doing specifically? And honestly, I had no idea the depth and the scope of the benefits that these trees are providing. As you heard, they help shelter the livestock. They help protect the land from wind erosion, which in turn makes our soil more nutrient rich, and in turn that makes our food healthier for us. They reduce the need for chemical use in agriculture because they naturally support the ecosystem. They help repair natural bodies of water. They encourage biodiversity and create shelter and habitats for local wildlife. I'm obviously not an expert on this subject, and I'm just kind of scratching the surface and putting everything in my words, but it was just truly fascinating. Like, I could not believe all of the benefits. I think right now, especially as a millennial, we're being hit with all of these messages about how the earth is dying and how it's going to become uninhabitable in 10 to 15 years, and how people are talking about colonizing the moon, and it's really scary and really overwhelming. and it's just like, well, what can I do as one person to make an impact? So it was really refreshing and honestly inspiring for me to see firsthand that there are organizations and brands and people out there who care so deeply and are so passionate about restoring our environment. And I hope it serves as a reminder that we need to be doing our part individually right now. So I would absolutely love to hear in the comments something that you already do or something you plan on starting to do to help yourself lead a more environmentally friendly life. I know for me right now, a huge thing is eliminating the use of single-use disposable items. So things like makeup wipes, cotton rounds, produce bags, plastic straws, obviously. And I am definitely far from perfect, but I'm really trying to make a conscious effort to strive to be better in my everyday life. And realistically, you know, I'm not going to be out there weekly planting trees. So I have to kind of step back and evaluate that in my apartment living city life, what I can do to be better and what I can do that is going to make an impact. So how Clarins comes into this. When you visit clarins.ca or clarinsusa.com if you are in the United States, basically you should get a pop-up that comes up immediately, and it says that if you sign up for their email newsletter, you'll receive 10% off your order. And as a thank you, Clarins PUR Projet will plant a tree right here in Alberta if you are Canadian, or if you purchase on their US website, it will be planted in one of their projects in Vermont. This video is not sponsored by Clarins, by the way, or anyone for that matter, but I did want to link kind of like my top 5 recommendations from Clarins in the description box down below if you are wanting to try something their brand and get involved at the same time. So starting off, my #1 favorite from Clarins, you guys know, is their Hydro Quench Cream Mask. If you are a longtime viewer of mine, you will know that this is a holy grail product for me. I've been using it for over 5 years. I actually don't have any at the moment. It's like a drink of water for your face, and I love it before makeup and also when I've been traveling because it's super plumping and hydrating. Their lip comfort oils are another one. If you followed me back when I was on Accutane, then you already know. Even if you don't have like super dry lips, these lip oils are just so luxurious and thick and protective. Like, I will wear these when I go swimming for 3 hours, and when I get out of the water, they're still on my lips, keeping them hydrated. My favorite is this kind of honey golden shimmer. I've gone through so many of these, but they do also have a bunch of other tints and scents available now, so definitely check these out. Another product that I love from Clarins that is a little bit lesser known is their one-step gentle exfoliating cleanser. It's formulated with orange extract and kind of like a gentle buffing bead. It's another one that I love before makeup because it leaves my skin so bright and so smooth. If you need an SPF this summer, their UV50 multi-protection fluid is fantastic. This was my go-to back when I worked at Sephora. I would seriously recommend this to everyone, and everyone loved it because it's very thin and milky and non-greasy. I also wanted to link one of my mom's favorite products from Clarins as well because she's a huge fan of the brand, and this product is perfect for summer, and it is their Radiance Plus Golden Glow Booster. These are basically just a little vial of self-tanning drops that you mix in with your moisturizer, and it just creates a really natural, gradual self-tan. The results are gorgeous. She swears by them. She's been using them every single summer for years and years. So all of those products will be linked in the description box. Definitely check them out. I'm also going to put some more info down below on PUR Projet and where you can follow them on social media. And I'm also going to link the Cohen Farms Instagram. That is the second farm we went to. They will deliver their products locally, and they also attend some local farmers markets in Edmonton. So if you're in the area, definitely show them some support. They had some of the best tea and honestly the best berries I have ever tried in my entire life, so check them out as well. And finally, I want to give a huge thank you to Clarins for having me join them for this event. I told them I have lived in Alberta my entire life, and I definitely have like kind of a view in my mind of like the stereotypical Albertan farmer, and this experience and meeting these farmers who care so deeply about the environment and what they do and these more progressive practices really just opened my eyes and changed my entire perspective, honestly. So this is definitely not an experience I will be forgetting. So thank you once again to Clarins and your team. I hope you guys have enjoyed this vlog. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. As always, go follow me on social media. I'm at SariReanna on Twitter and Instagram, and subscribe down below if you are new to my channel. But I will talk to you guys in the next one.